This film was generously sponsored by SJR Research, along with other contributing members of our Facebook audience.
I have very happy memories of living in the house. The house was built in the early 1890s. My grandfather built it before he was married. Of course, he didn't get married until he was about 40 years old. And I was born in 1929, so I was a Depression baby. I had a sister that was born in 36, and I adored her. My family was an extended family. We lived with my grandmother and grandfather. We had a loving family. My father and mother and grandmother worked hard. They raised cattle. Tobacco did not become a crop until I was older, but cattle was their only income. My mother raised turkeys, and they were free-range turkeys, so that meant going to lots of hilltops to find turkey nests and gather them. It was a different life. We all loved the porch. It was a cold house. We had a fireplace in the kitchen, and the kitchen stove burned wood. But we had a sitting room. Daddy closed up one of the fireplaces and had a stove, so that room could be toasty and warm. And for a while, Mother and Daddy had their bed in there, but later it became just a den. Another thing I enjoyed about the house was the outbuildings, the granary. I had a playhouse in the granary, so I could play by myself, and because there were no neighbors, no children around close by that I had to play with. I loved living there. I loved the creek. I could play half the day on a big rock in the creek, have a playhouse, and there was a little stream that ran through that rock. And my parents were not worried about me falling in. About 1936, we got a radio. Then we did not get electricity in this house until 1946. We did have a telephone. The telephone would ring, and everybody would go listen in to the conversations. That was the way the ladies got their news. I still remember our ring was one long and one short. I loved the river. I went to high school at Piney Creek, and at that time, of course, there was no bridge there. So I poled the boat across the river to go to school. If you go to the river, which the river is not far from the old house, there's a huge rock on the other side of the river, and that's where I landed my boat. The water is deep there. Further down the river, it would have been too swift for me to pole it across. No one has lived there full time for 30 years. I doubt that it will be safe, but I'm not sure.
How does that make you feel?
Sad.